In early March we decided to sail from Langkawi anchorage up to the cruise ship port on the southern end of Langkawi Island. You can see it on the map here. It's about 8 nautical miles, and on the way out of the anchorage we passed one of the fuel barges and then we sailed southeast. It was a lovely day but no real wind, and that's common in Langkawi. On the way we passed some fish farms in Bass Harbour. And we also passed the northern shipyard. If you have a close look, there's a 200-ton lift crane, and you'll see some ferries in there as well as yachts. Further up south we passed, nearly got run over by a car ferry heading into the customs dock and ferry station. And further south we passed the Penkalang Navy installation, and docked at their jetty was a old sailing ship, what they call a training ship for the Navy. You see a lot of these in the Netherlands and Europe. And then we arrived at our destination, which is the cruise port, and further in the distance you'll see another, not a training ship but a tall ship. We anchored off a little island called PULAU, and it was a quite peaceful anchorage most of the time, with the winds coming from the north at that time of the year, and we're on the leeward side of the island. You can see Langkawi World, Resort World, as well as the cruise ship. You can see by the map, little blue dot where we anchored. We got in the dinghy and had a bit of a look at the cruise ship. The cruise ship's name was JETTY Dream. This is of course a picture of its lights across its cabin area of a night time. The lights change, and then the next day or the day after we use the dinghy to go into the island and have a look around. It's a beautiful island, not much of it, but quite interesting. There's the cruise ship again, and the Resort World Langkawi. Didn't think much of Resort World Langkawi. Now the rocks around the island are all different, and this one was like a marble floor or sandstone floor. And while we were scrummaging or beachcombing, there was a bit of rope and it looked like a snake. Travelled over by dinghy to Resort World Langkawi. As I said, I didn't think much of this place. We could have anchored in here, but I wasn't sure of the depth because at that stage my depth sounder wasn't working. I've since replaced it. And in moored at the jetty area, pontoon area, were some party boats. You can see them in the distance there, yachts that take tourists out. They use their engines, they don't sail most of the time. While we're on the land, we tried to get in and look at the ship, but they wouldn't let us. And we had a walk around, and it didn't take me long to realise that it was less than interesting, and there was hardly any people there because it was already the start of the COVID-19. That same day or the next day we travelled by dinghy into the little village called SARI village, and there's a tourist jetty there. There's a whole heap of fishing boats at the jetty, and at low tide it wasn't easy to negotiate the rubbish and other fishing boats. And then just on dusk we took some video of the full moon over the cruise ship. Not a great video, but it gives you the impression of how peaceful it was at anchor. Now, if you're anchored in the anchorage in KUAH Township, you can see the lights of this boat, this ship, from at least 8 nautical miles. It just lights up the sky horizon. And then we decided to travel over to one of 3 southern islands of the Langkawi island group. And the second of those islands, we got distracted by the tourists. There were still a lot of them. So after 3 days, or 4 days, we sailed back to the KUAH Langkawi anchorage, and we took our time. My boat is a cruising boat, it's not a quick boat. And on the way back we noticed that there was a Navy ship at the Navy installation, and the big tall ship had gone. And if you see on the mountain there, there's a sort of a college or a university, I think. And when we arrived back at KUAH Township, we anchored off the Langkawi Eagle in the designated anchorage area. You can see the immigration centre and the KUAH ferry port, Kibu Island, and all the ferries at anchor. And there is a lot of them. And just there you'll see that in behind that trimaran is my boat. When we got back to the boat, we had another beautiful sunset.